This week on LeftOverTime, I have quite a bit of leftover Ethiopian food from one of my favorite local spots, specifically Miser and Ater Kik. Fragrant and spicy with the consistency of refried beans. While normally served with injera, a tangy Ethiopian flatbread, I wanted to see if I could use a livelier dough and if it could pair just as well. Very early in life for many kids who love basketball and aspire to be a pro, to do so, there is a threshold for how tall you have to be. In some rare instances, though, a player is so talented that height be damned and they spring into the league. For our recipe today, we are going to be making fresh bao or steamed buns filled with staples of Ethiopian cuisine. To prepare the bao dough, add a quarter cup flour, a quarter cup warm water, 1 tablespoon active dry yeast, and 1 teaspoon white sugar to a bowl and stir to combine. Let sit for 30 minutes. After the rest, add 1.5 cups of flour, half cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of veggie oil, and a quarter teaspoon salt to a separate bowl. Mix to combine with the yeast starter. Dump out the flour mixture onto a work surface and knead for 5 to 6 minutes. Let rest for 3 hours or until nearly tripled in size. The first player we are highlighting, Charlie Chris, started his career in the Continental Basketball Association, where he won MVP honors with the Scranton Apollos in 1976. Next, Chris joined the Washington Generals, where he spent a season as the Harlem Globetrotters foil. While he did not make it to the NBA right away, finally in 1978, at the age of 29, the guard joined the Atlanta Hawks. At 5 foot 8 inches, Chris was the smallest player in the league, backing up Armand Hill and averaging 11 points, 4 assists, and a steal per game. He played for Atlanta for roughly 4 seasons before being traded to the San Diego Clippers. A stopover in Milwaukee was short-lived before he returned to the Hawks for his final season. After the dough is risen, press it down and scrape it out onto your work surface. Dust the dough with baking powder and knead for 5 minutes. Divide in half, and using one of those halves, divide again into equal portions. I divided mine out into about 9 pieces. Roll out each section flat and add a little more than a tablespoon of your filling. Can be just about anything from barbecue pork to miser, which is made of seasoned lentils simmered in oil, onions, garlic, curry, ginger, and berbere, or ater kik, yellow split peas, onions, ginger, garlic, and turmeric, or hell, you can even put in chocolate if you want a dessert bao. You can either fold the bao or gather it up in sections in a circular motion and pinching at the top, as I am doing here. Place it on a piece of parchment paper until it is ready to be steamed. If there was a short-statured player who could fill it up, our next player was a cut above. Tyrone Bogues was selected by the Washington Wizards in 1987. At 5 foot 3 inches, Bogues was the shortest player in NBA history. Alongside teammate Manute Bol, they set the record for the largest discrepancy in height from any teammates. Due to NBA expansion, Bogues was pried away from the Wizards by the new Charlotte Hornets. While in Charlotte, Bogues improved every year, excelling at both giving and taking the ball away. As short as Muggsy was, his size allowed him to carve through the holes in the defense too small for other players, confounding the forwards and centers near the rim. A seemingly safe dribble was easy pickings for Bogues as well, who could sneak up behind a player out of view. He became a hero to the fans of the brand new team in Charlotte, and by 1993, alongside Larry Johnson, the Hornets made it to the second round of the playoffs. With Bogues and Johnson, they returned to the playoffs regularly, however never making it past the second round. During the 1996 season, Bogues made an appearance on the big screen as one of the players whose basketball powers were stolen by the Martians in Space Jam. Bogues spent his last 4 seasons of his 14-year career with the Golden State Warriors and Toronto Raptors, often coming off the bench, but still filling it up. Bring a pan shallowly filled with water to a light simmer. With a steam basket in the pan, place as many buns as can fit into the basket. Let steam for 12 to 15 minutes or until the dough has risen. By using steam heat, the dough becomes outrageously springy, capable of reaching great heights, kind of like our final player, Anthony Spud Webb. Webb was drafted and almost immediately released by the Detroit Pistons in 1985. A former coach called in a favor, and Spud tried out for the Atlanta Hawks, earning a spot. He played well his first year and shocked many in the media and the league when he joined the 1986 Slam Dunk Contest. The 5'6" guard thrilled again, winning the contest over fellow teammate and renowned dunker Dominique Wilkins. No matter his size, Webb was able to leap with the best of them. After being traded to the Kings and assuming a starter position, Spud reached new heights in scoring. His speed left defenders in the dust. After 12 years in the league, though, his competitors were finally able to catch up with the diminutive guard, and he retired. The buns are ready to eat after their steam cook. Break them open, dunk in a dipping sauce of your choice, ideally one that matches the stuffing, and dig in. Though they started small, like the players mentioned here, they leapt to another level. Tastes pretty good.